Hi guys, JurassicJunkie here, and I realised that complaining does pay off, and this is the Friday Night Rant. So, this week's drink, to start us off, is sponsored by Stuart Hanks, who has sent me in a can of zombie energy drink. So, let's give this a whack. To you, sir. Oh dear God, he's poisoned me. He's poisoned me. That's really nice. That is really nice. It's not too sugary like a normal energy drink, it's just right. Oh, that's spot on. Thank you very much, sir. On back up though, I've got a glass of wine. So moving on then, this week I want to complain about Game, the shop. I don't like them, I tend not to go with them, but we decided to buy Zelda. And if you brought it from Game, they sent you a limited edition special gold version along with the poster. So this turned up, awesome. The limited edition didn't. So Joe phoned up, complained, and they says, "Oh, sorry, you and many other people haven't received it, but it's on its way to you. They've been dispatched separately," which is a fine. You know what I mean? You just accept that and go, okay. And like a week passed, and it didn't turn up. So we complained again. I was like, yeah, it's definitely on the way to you. And 2 weeks has passed now, and we still got nothing. So Joe complained and says, like, for instance, well, she just says, where the hell is it, practically? And they came back to her and said, I'm sorry, but we've now run out of them. And that's it. So I jumped onto the laptop and wrote something simply saying that you have an obligation with me, the person who's purchased this from you. I purchased the limited edition version and gave you money. You haven't supplied me with that, but you've kept my money. So you either refund me or you give me something. And they got back to us pretty much straight away, but that came. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. But by then I put the complaint email in. Then that came. So I've now got two. And I'm going to keep this one wrapped just in case it's ever worth anything, which is awesome. But the thing is, Game did actually say there's nothing they can do. Sorry, we've run out. End of email. Which, to me, they should have simply said, like, we're ever so sorry, we've run out. Fair enough, if that happens, you know what I mean, you can't do anything about it. But then you say, as a goodwill gesture, here's £5 store credit, or as a goodwill gesture, we'll fund the money if you want that. They never gave us any options, they just went, sorry. So I am never ever using Game again. I don't like the stores. When I've been in, they never sound like they actually know what they're talking about. And to top this off now, I'm just like, that's stupid. I'm happy. I've got two. That's awesome. Knowing then they'll probably send me a third because the idiots. But the service, to turn around to somebody and say, we've run out after you've paid for it and not give you any other options, is just terrible service. So I am never using Game again. So a cool thing that's happened this week is Far Cry 3 is coming out, and I didn't know about it. And there's nothing better than actually to find out a game's coming out and you didn't know. So I'm quite chuffed. There's actually videos out about it already showing you the intro, and I'm very excited for this because Far Cry 2 to me was a really, really good game. You can get it cheap now, and if you see it, nab it. It's a really good game. And Far Cry 3 just instantly made me go, I'm probably going to buy it without even looking at it because I just enjoyed number 2 so much. And then I watched the actual intro, and it looks absolutely awesome. It's now set that you crash land, I think, on an island. So, stupid scenario, but it don't matter. It's a game. You know what I mean? I don't care. Just chuck me on the island. And everyone on the island's gone crazy. So, you talk to this person, which you assume might be someone else who's trapped, and he's talking to you with a knife in your face. Gives it away. Might be a bit of a badder. And then next minute, it kicks a block. And the block falls down the hill. And then you look down, and you're attached to it. And it pulls you in. You fall into the water, and then you can see loads of bodies all around you, and you have to like quickly tap to try and get yourself out. And normally when it's like these quick time events and you have to just quickly do that, it's case of like pressing it 10 times and next minute you're released. And looking at the video, he really was pressing it for ages, and you was like, you're gonna run out of breath in a minute. And then he got out of the water, and I was like, it gave that really good bit of tension there. And then he went out to very slowly stab somebody, nick their knife, throw it into somebody, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to enjoy this. It might be a bit over the top, but like I said, it's a game and I think I'm going to enjoy it. But then it made me think that this game's going to be really scary, because when you've got zombies are scary, but you know what a zombie's going to do. If he sees you, he will bite you and kill you. if there's a monster in a game and he sees you, they will bite and kill you. If it's an enemy in Call of Duty, they'll probably bite and kill you. Okay, they won't. But the thing is, you always know what the enemy's going to do. They're always going to kill you. And when you're talking about crazy people, that adds a different twist into the actual game, because I assume when you go through the game, you may bump into people and it's going to be a question of, can I trust them? Or I might trust them, but then they might switch, they might go crazy. So I think it's a really good element to add to a game, crazy people, because you don't know what they're going to do, and that adds to the scariness, I think. So I'm really excited for it. I've not looked into it too much because, to be fair, I'm probably just going to buy it anyway, because I really enjoyed Far Cry 2. They give you a map editor, they give you online, they give you everything you ever wanted, and it was just a good game. So for them to do number 3 and add in crazy people, I'm thinking it's going to be a really good game, so look out for that one. Zombie! So let me put you into a scenario. Imagine if you and your partner, boyfriend or girlfriend, could play a game which was absolutely awesome, start to finish, but only lasted 2 hours. At the end of those 2 hours, you could never play it again. You had to leave the game where it was. You went somewhere to play it. And then after them 2 hours, you left and the game stayed where it was. And they says to you it's going to cost about 14 quid, 20 quid. Would you play it? No, you wouldn't. So why do people do that for the cinema? For 2 hours, they pay that amount of money to then leave. Don't get me wrong, like, people could watch this and say, I don't get games. And that's completely understandable. But I can't stand the cinema, and I just wanted to say my 2 cents about this. To me, like, you've got all this Blu-ray technology and 3D's now at home, and you've got surround sound systems that are really, really good, and you can now get the cinema experience at home. And I can't understand why people would pay. Don't get me wrong, like when Transformers 1 came out, I was dead excited. I was like, yeah, I've got to see it on the big screen, and I did, and I enjoyed it. But then 2 and 3 came out, and I'm like, I'm not bothered. Like, I'll wait and then watch it on my own TV. And like, when I went to watch a movie last time, it was like flickering, and you had the little hairs jumping up and down, and I was just like, this feels like old technology. Cinemas haven't changed at all for me since when I was a kid. So I've just stopped going. And it kills me that when I go to work, people are like, yeah, I've went to cinemas and I went to cinemas and blow all this money. And then I turn around and go, yeah, I brought like Duke Nukem and it cost me 60 quid. And like, are you crazy? And like, yeah, well, I can sell it for one. And then I'll lose a bit of money, but I've made some money back. It's going to give me plenty of hours and I can go back to it when I want. But yet you would take you and your kids out and it can cost like 40, 50 quid. And then you'll turn around and call me crazy. So, no, I just wanted to say that. But it's clever because it brings me into the next thing I want to talk about. And that is, apparently, somewhere in Dubai, 4 chaps, bulletproof vests, guns, on top of a roof, in a government building. So, the SWAT team, or Dubai's version of a SWAT team, come in and intervene, take them away, lock them up. And they found out when they was on there, all the guns were just plastic guns. They had like plastic swords and a video camera. So obviously they was up there pretending. And they've arrested them, obviously charged them. That's fair enough. But now somebody in Dubai, I was going to say the government, but I don't know that much of the story. I've just read it and not gone that deep into it. So somebody, an official body in Dubai, has now said they want to ban computer games. Why? The guy had a gun and a video camera. That would, to me, say they're replicating the cinemas, not replicating games. That's like, for instance, somebody dressing in all wrestling gear, making a ring with springy cords, climbing on top of it, doing a wrestling move onto somebody, breaking the leg, and then the government turn around and go, you know what we need to ban? Monopoly. It just doesn't tie in. And I get more and more angry every time I read these, like, you know what did that? Grand Theft Auto, let's ban it. You know what did that? Left 4 Dead, let's ban it. All these stupid things come out. People aren't that stupid, don't get me wrong. There is that one person that may play a game and it just in the head. But that's because they was tapped anyway. So it only takes them to go to Starbucks and have a coffee and then they've put 2 sugars in there instead of 1. You're still going to snap. So it doesn't matter what triggers it, something will trigger it. But then trying to ban games because of something like that, it's just stupid. So it's just another one of them things, let's blame gaming. I've just realised I'm at 11-minute mark now on the camera, which will probably turn out to be about 6 minutes once it's edited. And I forgot the main thing I wanted to talk about, and that was the Friday night rant live last week. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that turned up. At one point, I think we had 70 people all in at the same time, but then it averaged around 30 people throughout the night. I was going to do it for about an hour, went on at 8. I think it was 8 o'clock, yeah, went on at that time. Had a can, and another can, and a few more cans, and then it was 3 o'clock in the morning. So anybody who could manage to stay for that entire stint, that was awesome. Anyone who joined, it was really good. And I thought it was really funny because it wasn't just a case of me talking at the camera. We had a laugh with it. I've removed the videos off Justin, so if you've missed it, you've missed it. Just because I know I was drunk towards the end and I can't watch it back. I just can't put myself through it, so I don't want it there because in case there was something, do you know what I mean? It's gone. There will be others, so just tune in next time. But we had a really good laugh with it because at one point I was talking and obviously I disappeared to get a drink or something like that, and Jo was in the other room and she's got her laptop, and then my friend Grant came round. We've got 2 of us now, and there was just 2 of us and everyone's asking questions and we was talking to ourselves, and it was all good fun. But like, I went downstairs to get a beer with Grant, and because Jo's on the laptop, people was in the chat room were saying take over the show, so she'll come running in here, then she would talk on the camera while I was away unaware. Then as I was coming up the stairs, she hid under the table and the viewers knew, and then it was quite funny. It was really, really good laugh, and I'm definitely going to go and do it again. And it was quite funny because when I would go out the room as well, people would then say, I know, no one talked when he gets back, unaware that I was actually reading it on the other laptop. So it was just a funny, really good fun night, and I'm definitely going to do it again. And here is a clip of what the chat room looked like. So thank you all for joining. Right, the next thing is a company called Sunshine Insurance. I don't know why I said it like that. Sunshine Insurance in Japan are offering insurance like insurance companies do, but they're offering different type of insurance, and that is virtual insurance. It's for theft or damage to property within the virtual world, so you can now insure yourself. Which sounds a bit crazy, but that's when I was thinking more along the lines of Farmville and silly things like that. And it made me think really that when I used to play Phantasy Star Online, I'd probably put 200, 300 hours into that game quite easily. And say your top level was 80, I think, and then they brought patches out. But anyway, say it was 80. I would churn up my way up to 80, and then some hackers, like every game, come along and spoil it. And what they was doing is a thing called nulling. And what that was is there was an NPC in the game called Null that didn't have any special abilities because it was an NPC. And they found a way to actually turn you into that NPC. So you'd lose all your items, all your abilities, you'd stay at what level it was. In fact, no, you didn't. You even dropped to Null's level, which I think was 5. And it just turned you into that character, but you could control them. So in other words, you lost your 300 hours, that's it, gone. And because it was an online game, you couldn't reload up a save game, that was it, you lost your character. And that was terrible. So thinking about it now, it's just like, it is one of the things when you go, insuring virtual stuff, that's crazy. But then you imagine 20 years ago when you would have said like living a virtual life online, you would have gone, that's crazy, but it's acceptable now. So thinking about it, I can kind of understand. Say it was only £5 or something per year, and you pay and then just say, you know what, mate, you give me a payout if someone did hack my account, and then when your account gets hacked, you'll be gutted, but you can go, well, I've got my payout now, so it kind of weighs it up. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So that brings me on to the question of the week. Would you buy virtual insurance? And if you would, what game would you buy it for? So would you buy it for your Call of Duty? Would you buy it for your World of Warcraft? What would you want to insure? And that's it. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy what's left of my zombie cam. And then I could tell you a line now, and I'm going to say I'm going to play some gaming, but I'm not. I'm going to do some programming. You see, that's a programming growth right there. So I'm working on the new gamingunity.com website. It looks awesome, but I'm not going to go into it because I'll probably bore you. I'll wait and just show it you. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Cheers. Bye.